For those of you who have tried the Fretboard challenge, here it is again, but to the power of 10.
So I walk a little too fast.
If you recall the first challenge, we began in the key of C and descended in a cycle of sixths. C, D, E, F, G, A. A, B, C, D, E, F. Well, I think you get the idea. Then we found that visualizing these notes on an imaginary staff was helpful, as the notes appear as descending cycle of thirds. Here on this graph, you can see the spaces with the note names. Personally, when I get to the D, I jump back up on the staff to the lines until I reach E again and move back to the spaces. In this way, I can at least recall the correct note names descending in sixth. After saying the note name, we have to know its harmonization in the key of C and voice it as a seventh chord. But this is something I'm sure most of us already know. For example, C, the tonic, is major 7, A, the second, is minor 7, F, the fourth, is major 7, and so on. The final problem then is to play this in a cycle beginning high on our fretboard on strings 1 through 4 and finishing as low as possible on 3 through 6 with F major 7. And so on until you reach F major 7. You can review this on this website, the Fretboard Challenge. Now with the Fretboard Challenge to the 10th power, you start with any chord in any key that comes to mind and complete the process. Like, for example, this chord. We may not readily recognize this voicing, so we review the inversions of this chord. Till finally we come to an inversion that we might recognize. This is a minor 7 flat 5 inversion. C sharp minor 7 flat 5. It's the 7th tone in the key of D. So we know now that we're in the key of D with two sharps, C sharp and F sharp. And this we call the first inversion of C sharp minor 7. We view it as the first inversion of C sharp minor 7 flat 5. Now descending in our cycle of sixths from a C sharp, we would go to A 7 over the E, where we already are. So that's E7 over E. Descending down to the F, it would be F sharp minor 7 over E. Then D major 7 in its root position, D. Then B minor 7 over D. Then G major 7 over D. Then E minor 7 over D. C sharp minor 7 flat 5 at C sharp. A7 over C sharp. F sharp minor 7 over C sharp. And finally, again, D major 7 over C sharp. So let's review that. And of course, you would continue on down through the sequence. Oops. Okay, I I need to review that myself. Okay, it's easy enough. When you pick a chord that is easily recognizable. For example, we picked our C sharp minor 7 flat 5, and we recognized it as the 7th chord within the scale. But what if we pick another chord, such as this? E minor 7. You could be in 3 keys with this chord. This chord appears in 3 different keys. It is the 2nd of D. It's the 3rd of C. And it is the 6th tone in the key of G. So the first thing you have to do is decide what key that you are in. Let's look at the key of G major. Now we know our start position, which is the 6th chord, E minor 7. And we know we're in a key with 1 sharp, F sharp. So now descending from E down to C, the C tone in the key of G is going to be major 7, so we need a C major 7. Okay, so we're going from E minor 7 to C major 7 over E, to A minor 7 over E, to F sharp minor 7 flat 5 over E, to D7, the 5 chord in G, to B minor 7 over D, to G major 7 over D, to E minor 7 over D, C major 7 over C, A minor 7 over C, F sharp minor 7 flat 5 over C, and D7 over C. So let's review that. E minor 7 over E, C major 7 over C over E, A minor 7 over E, F sharp minor 7 flat 5 over E, D7 over D, B minor 7 over D, G major 7 over D, E minor 7 over D, C major 7 over C, A minor 7 over C, F sharp minor 7 flat 5 over C, and D7 over C. Okay, it's a bit of a challenge. Sometimes when I think of F sharp minor 7 flat 5, I like to think of it as A minor 6 because it gives me the 3rd here. Which is more easily recognizable. We should start to look at these minor 6 flat 5 chords as minor 6 chords. We should look at studying a chord like this, D minor 6, and its inversions, as studying 3 different chords. One is D minor 6. The other is G9 without a root. And the other is B minor 7 flat 5. So you get the bonus of 3 chords by studying 1. Here we recognize G9 without a root. Here is G7 with the 9 added without a root. It's the first inversion of D minor 6. should start getting used to the idea of seeing B minor 7 flat 5 as D minor 6. Okay, just as an additional thought on why these inversions are important or what use you have, suppose we had a comping of two measures of E flat major 7. What we want to do is use the inversion of the chord itself, let's say E flat 6, and a diatonic substitute for the chord, which is G minor 7. So we want to use both these chords in our comping. The idea is to recognize the two different chords in their proximity. This way we can add variety to our comping. And you can only do that by recognizing the chord inversions and their proximity to one another. Okay, good luck with the Fretboard challenge to the 10th power.